We're almost there. I guess we are live. Let's check. Heart greeting, everyone. We are going live right now. Just give us a few seconds to make sure that everything is going well. Yes. Yes, everything is going well. So we started this amazing idea. We thought that we want to share with you an empowerment topics and series every Wednesday. Let's see how it will goes. Your host YogiGeorge from Ascension Platforms and my Galactic bro, Marty, founder of Active Breathwork and the channel of AnandA. If you know about more receiving the guidance, we both of us now stepping up, I would say, on receiving the guidance, and we shifted our life. We learned many tools and would love to share it with you guys and answer your question and go in more details. Microphone with Marty to share a bit of his introduction also.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for the invitation, George. I'm really happy, excited to be doing this work with you, and we've connected together in many ways, and now it's time to share our stories and share our lessons, importantly, and share how we can be an inspiration for others and show where we have come from, and where we are now is very different to where we have come from, and we would like to share that with people and show that it's possible for everyone. So yeah, very excited, very happy. So let's do it.
Absolutely. Thank you for, yes, it's a very important point you mentioned, that one of the important points that we are sharing with you to show you from two aspects, from my aspect and Marty aspect, and what we know about other way shower and teachers, how we thought that life is so condensed, so I would say negative or pressured, and we found the way, we found the tools, and we empower ourselves. And we've done it together. I remember when we used to connect and we shared together. This is what happened. I noticed this. I released this. I work on this. And then we find ourselves that we are not only manifest our dream, and it was still manifesting. We share with you what we have done so far. If people knows us, I was just telling Marty today about beautiful manifestation they were doing in their space, and the beautiful gift that's coming soon, the beautiful baby,
yes.
And many things. And we realized that we want to share with you how far we were, and we went in that depths, and how we empower ourselves, and we reach to this empowerment, this manifestation, and we start open to our guides. We have channeling, we have connection, we have health tips. All this we would love to share with you. So
yeah,
welcome you together here. We are doing it together. All right. So give us 1 second till we dive into some of the topic. We'll start choosing some of the topics. And so I can give Marty a chance to share on his page, the Facebook, and also the YouTube.
Okay.
1 second, give us 1 second. I'm sending to you in Messenger, so you can click on it, or if you go to our page also.
Just gonna share here now. Good. So yeah.
We have also the YouTube if you want. Some people they don't have the Facebook also, and we are already right now inside a private platform. We already have the link there. If you want to ask question privately, we are here to assist. We are here to give as much as we can knowledge that we collect on the way, and our perspective on how we went through this. It will help you to expand, empower you, and give you the knowledge how to navigate and raise. All right. Let's see also here if we have anything.
That's a really good point, George, that you mentioned there about being able to talk in private, because this is something for me that I found in my journey. When I began to wake up, I was in a community where people did not understand anything about this whatsoever, and I didn't have anyone that I could share it with what I was going through. I was afraid to talk about it, and this technology wouldn't have been there so much. It would have been there, but it wasn't as widely used as it is now. So really amazing to have this connection for people that are going through things that they might not understand, and to know that there are people that do understand, and we can talk in private, and they don't have to out their deepest, darkest secrets, although we can do that as well.
We can definitely help them, and I've seen it many times, especially because we are doing it now in duo style. Yeah. The two aspect, it will give a very broader perspective on how to solve whatever is the issue. And also, I'm opening up for this. I hope that Marty with me with this. We are empowering ourselves to open up our channels to receive more guidance. And I witnessed this in myself. The moment we have someone asking question or so sincere to know the answer or revelation, the channel open and we receive guidance and we channel it to the person. So I'm excited also about this to see that we are connected and we can actually share a guidance and help and support.
This is something that Bashar, Daryl Anka, the channel for Bashar, he mentions that for this energy to be drawn down and to be used, it needs to be drawn through by a question. And if you don't have a question within yourself, it needs to be drawn by another, and that energy is drawn through you to them. So this is the process, and it's powerful for us as well.
Yes, it's I would say it's help us to more be tuned to flow the channel to you guys, so we can receive further and empower you to step up and say, through your calling, through your, I would say, question, through you saying that there is something in my life I want to look at and change and transfer into more positive. Yeah. Then the more support comes. Then we would say it, I think, in some of the ancient teaching is when the student is ready, the teacher comes.
Absolutely. They say it this way. I agree wholly. And in that process, when someone else is asking a question to us, it may not necessarily be our guides that answers that question. It could be the person's higher self, guides of theirs, just using our channel as the path of least resistance to get the message through that they need. So it's it's a powerful thing, and we all are doing this to some degree, but we've just got to a place where we're aware of it now, and we can use it more. And I'm just getting quite a lot of confirmation of that right now.
Really? Wow.
Very strongly.
I usually for me, I either sense through a bit of goosebump or sometimes flashes. Last time when we were having the talk, the chat before preparing, so I'm sharing with you guys, so empowering yourself also. I saw a huge flash of light in front of me as there was a confirmation that what we are talking about is important and is going to speed up or spread in a way. Absolutely. And of course, we're going to tap into many other aspects, which is, I would say, quite normal on daily life, which is very important, allowed us to reach to this point, which is clearing your food, clearing your thought, clearing your emotion, what kind of food that support your system. We would call it spiritual nutrition, ascension nutritions. What kind of, paying attention when you are breathing is so crucial, and the way you can tap into many tools of breathing also. Marty can share with us a little bit of the sign that you receive when you start saying, I'm going to start working on active breath work, and share us a little bit how you get the inspiration. I used to get that inspiration when I started the yoga and pranayama. And I will share that after. Marty, you can jump in.
Okay. So I can tell, like, briefly for the people who don't know me, I can just tell a very quick story of my history, his story. So I was born in Northern Ireland in the very late 70s. So a couple of months into the last few months of 1979. So that was right in the middle of the troubles and the violence and a lot of things that was going on in Northern Ireland that still goes on to some degree, but not so much. But I grew up in a very good household, a very good family, a very hardworking family, and they helped and supported me, and we never wanted for anything. My father worked very hard. I have 4 siblings, and his job description on each of our birth certificates is different because he kept growing and expanding. But in that environment, in that collective consciousness of Northern Ireland, we are split at birth. So it's divided by Catholic and Protestant. So it could be like, there are many situations like this around the world, like Israel, Palestine, the dividing line. So we go to a separate school, we go to separate, we live in separate areas. We're divided by, some cities are divided by bridges, and there's walls and barbed wire. So I grew up with a very segregated community, I would say. And there was a lot of
mindset also. I think the mindset, the fears, this is that, you don't connect. Yeah, a lot of
absolutely. And there's a lot of fear. There was a lot of people being killed in the name of religion, and it was like Catholic, Protestant. So I happened to be born in a Catholic family, and so yeah, growing up we were separated. Fear. So it was very closed. I had a happy childhood as well, but I seen when I got out of this how much of the culture and the violence affected me. So it wasn't until my late 20s that I actually got out of that. So I decided, because of lots of life changes, lots of very challenging things. I don't think I need to go into all of them, but I have experienced a lot of things around substances, alcohol, depression, drugs, a lot of things, and it got me to a point where I needed to step out
into the typical Irish closed, pressured environment. Yes.
Well, I think what it is there is it's a release from that pressured environment, and that's the go-to, especially the alcohol. That's the go-to for most people, because
run away.
Absolutely, and I know now, because of what I've been doing, that especially some of the substances actually opened up pathways in me that are even more open now in a natural way. But so I don't have any regrets about any of those things, but it led me on a path where I left Ireland in my late 20s. It's actually about 10 years ago. So nearly to the month, it would be April 2008, I left. And that was the beginning of my waking up. The beginning, very early, and it was slow to begin with, I can tell you, because it was, I went to Australia and I just got my second wind and started partying and going crazy and spending. I sold my house and I just spent all my money and just went crazy again for a little while. But I started to realize that I'm in a new country, the sun is shining, but I'm doing the same things. I'm doing the same things. It doesn't matter that the weather's better and it's new people. But I started meeting new people. I started opening my consciousness to other realities. And for me, it began with health, because I ended up in hospital with like liver problems from alcohol. I several times this happened, and
That was your wake-up call.
That was the big, so the universe taps your shoulder. It taps your shoulder. Then it maybe it'll drop something on your head. Then if you don't listen to those, then the whole roof gets blown off. And so this was one of those moments for me, and it was like, right, you need to do something. So it started me on the path of health and wellness, diet, looking after my physical body. I did that, but there was no spiritual content. It was really physical, but it was a step. It was a start to wake up. And then that just led me on a path. And then the next big movement would have been about 5 years into that. Then or about 6 years, I developed this back condition where the discs of my back was put out. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't lay down. I was like in constant pain. It was like having a toothache in my leg constantly. And that led me to leave my job. I couldn't sit at a desk. A lot of times I'd been on a computer, and it eventually led me to meditation, funnily enough, because I had, because of the past in Northern Ireland, the religious thing, I had stepped away from anything religious, anything spiritual. If you had mentioned the word God to me, I would have ran the other way, or we maybe would have had a fight, who knows. But this back condition meant that I literally couldn't get out of bed. And I was diagnosed by this specialist, and they said, you need to get this surgery on your back, or you're going to have this condition for the rest of your life. And in that moment, I said, I'm going to do anything except do this surgery. So but I was in bed. I couldn't really do anything. So I started meditating, and I don't know why or how it happened, but I started meditating. I started visualizing my back being healed. I was going in, seeing any damage is shrinking. I was mentally doing it, and I would do it every single day. Before I started my day, that's what I did. And it got up to maybe 40 minutes, an hour, where I was actually working on my back every single day, and it began to heal. So that started me on the process. Breath was coming in there, meditation process. The breath was a very powerful way to get in the moment, just be there. Now I also use binaural beats, which I know you use.
To silence, yes, exactly. So to silence the brain, to put the brain in the right brain waves, which is binaural beat also. There is a lot of tools, of course, but then this is your entry where you realize you need to put yourself in a certain state to work on yourself.
Absolutely.
I want to jump into also for the people who's watching and listening to this story. One of the most important why we're sharing our story with you guys, to see that first, yes, we are channeling, connecting, and we have a lot of spiritual tools or well-being tools and so on, but we started as normal or as depths pressured as was society there, with a lot of fears, a lot of confusion, a lot of running away from spirituality and so on. Yet we sharing with you, we don't want you to wait till the wake-up call becomes super painful. Then you decide, say, I'm going to connect with myself. I have power to heal myself. We have a guidance. We can connect with the universe. So we are sharing those details with you so you can relate to it. You don't need to go into all the suffering to get your wake-up call, and start testing it in your life and see how it works, because it's working not only with us, with zillions of people around the world talking about it. So
it's true.
Continue.
So listen to this one. When spirit or the universe taps you on the shoulder, listen to that one. Don't wait for the roof to fall, and you can learn from our
be attentive. Exactly. Be attentive to sign when there is a sign. And we know, to be honest, some people say, I don't know the sign. You know, but you ignore it willingly. When there is a sign talking to you, taking your attention to something to look at, to address, to work on, something you know in your heart that is not good. Like, for example, when you go and get some of the alcohol, you know in your heart, it's not really good for your system, not in the health, not in any way. So you know, when you get the sign, just listen to it. And the beautiful things right now, with all the people supporting, and we are here to support, you can super empower yourself. You can bring your manifestation to the highest, and you find yourself into a window of possibility. It's so beautiful, so mind-opening, so heart-opening, that we can do amazing things together.
Absolutely. There's no limit to what is possible, and it's only limited by what you allow to come through yourself. And I'm finding more and more, I say the awakening and the process that we're going through is an ongoing opening. There's no like, I've got there, I've arrived.
We haven't finished, of course. It's a continuation.
It's going to be a continuous opening, because we're opening to infinity within ourselves. So
exactly.
And it's such an exciting time to be alive, such an exciting time to share through this medium, share with and reach so many people, where when we were doing it, maybe there wasn't the same accessibility that people had.
And even the readiness also, Marty. I remember back in the days when I just started doing the yoga, I just was doing only Hatha yoga. I still love it. I still do it right now, but I encounter many other spiritual technology and health practices. At that time, I remember, right now, yoga is very well famous everywhere, thankfully, for everyone, maturity and realization. And even they teach it, even doctor, I remember one of the doctor I was talking to, it's like, the yoga is very helpful. I recommend it to my patient. I was like, wow. Just back then, when I just mentioned that I'm start learning Hatha yoga and I want to teach Hatha yoga, I got my certificate and so on, everyone, man, around me, one of the old guy was respectful enough from my perspective. He told me, he was laughing at me. It's like, do you think you are Indian? It's not, yoga is not for you. That's what he said to me. It shocked me, and I was like horrified. And I was like, I'm trying to bring some tools. I'm trying to, I practice it. It's beautiful. It's fixed the system, the flexibility. You teach you how to be centered and balanced. There is energy. And I was bombarded from society with ridiculous. So now we are mature.
Of course. And now we are stepping into much deeper and wider levels, and we are always going to not come up against, it's not the right word. We're going to open up more, and any of those shadows, any of those things that are present there, we're going to see them, we're going to feel them, and we're going to embrace them. And that's something that I'm doing very much.
Exactly. It's like, and we will share a lot of those details with you guys. It's very empowering. We humanity, when they wake up, or you as a conscious, when you wake up, you face your fears. That's one of the key to eliminate the fears. You face it with a lot of bravery, a lot of love, and we share with you how we face, how Marty also shared with me how he faced many of his fears when he started posting about his channeling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we're here to empower each other and tell you guys, we've been there. We learn. All the tools is there. Just come along, release all the fears, and see the openness, see the beauty, see the manifestation, see the guidance, see the universe.
See yourself.
So that, see yourself within. Yes, universe and us outside. It's a one co-creation together. So continue for the breathing. So when you tapped into it.
So that meditation where I was kind of forced. I don't know. I was guided. I know now I was guided to do it, because I can't think of any. I didn't know anyone who meditated. I didn't follow anyone. I was guided to do it, so I did it. Then I started, along with the healing of the back, I also started feeling these really blissful states. So I would get into the meditation, the pain would go, and then I would just feel this bliss. And again, now with hindsight, I can see my whole life I was searching for this bliss, for these feelings. I was searching for these highs through everything else, through relationships, through drugs, through drink, through anything with like skydive, bungee jump, all of these, like adrenaline, anything that produced a rush in my body, I was searching for it. And now
there's a yearning for something beyond this limited density. I would call it density because it's a beautiful way to say it. Limited density. There is some higher access. We always yearn to that. We have that.
Absolutely. It's like a calling home, and we don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming from inside out. And so, I started to feel these blissful feelings just using very simple breath techniques and resting the body. And I'm like, wow, something's going on here. I'm onto something. And then it led on a path of all the spiritual paths, all the books. I read hundreds of books. I followed every master I could find. I did every practice.
Your interest kicked, yes.
Oh, it just exploded exponentially. And I spent every waking hour with these in my ear. If I wasn't doing something that needed my full attention, I was listening to Abraham Hicks, I was listening to Wayne Dyer, I was listening to Bashar, I was watching videos, I was just constantly reading, constantly opening, awakening, and then it led me to breathwork. So I had some very profound experiences on my own. Then I went and did a breathwork session in a group, and then just wow. I mean, I felt unconditional love. I could feel myself as a god in form. My individual being melted. All things melted, and I felt oneness. I felt wholeness. I felt love. And that was in one breathwork session. And in that moment, I said, this is what I will do for the rest of this incarnation. This is why I'm here. This is why I've chosen to come here. The experience was just wild, like indescribable. Like language cannot do justice to it. We can only ever point, and it only scratches the surface.
Someone need to experience it. The world is so limited when we're talking about those kind of experiences.
So from that point, then my sole focus was breathwork. And again, I was guided. I didn't know at the time, but I was guided. I just began to take all the elements, everything I'd learned from my life, spiritual and non-spiritual, I'd been a DJ when I was younger as well. I took elements from Clubland, from the music, from mixing. I took every element, I put it together, and everything that worked really well for me, and I put it into this one experience, which became Activate Breathwork. And that's where we are now. We have 4 or 5 other people that we have trained. Myself and my wife do it together. And it's just a huge blessing. We've had miraculous, I could say, results ourselves, and miraculous things have happened with others. And the real beauty of it for me is that it's a self-healing, that we are just channels for what's going on, and the person or people or group of people get exactly what they need through their own. We create an environment, but it's their own being, it's their breath, their life force. We just create the environment where they can access it, and that for me is so empowering. Like what the empowerment talk that we're having, it's giving people back their power, and it's all within us. So that's why it's so inspiring, and I'm so happy and blessed that it is my path, and I'm happy to share it with you. And it has brought me to where I am now, talking with people like you that is doing amazing work and like taking people beyond what they could ever even imagine. And it's amazing. It's such a beautiful time. So really happy, really grateful.
Exactly. And to be honest, synchronicity has to bring us to when many years ago, I don't remember, 12 years, 13 years, or 15 years, I don't remember at all. It's like that history is being erased from my memory. I used to smoke also, I remember, and of course many other things, but I remember mostly when I used to smoke very heavily, because that was a part of our society also. We have the same things back then, suppressed fears, and my friend, when I wanted to quit smoking, you know the stories, like you cannot quit smoking, take the cigarette, you know, they so, I would say they are so uncomfortable when someone leave the bad habit, because then it might tell them that it can be possible to quit smoking, and they were afraid from that idea, so they forced it back to the person. No, come join us, because if you leave and you quit and you clean your system and become healthy, we should do that too. So they start protecting themselves inside their comfort zone, not leaving it. So
it's a really good point.
Yes,
it's a really good point that you mentioned about the history. The history is kind of, I feel exactly the same.
I don't remember that I was smoking. I have no idea. So when I was quitting smoking, I was studying yoga at that time. And I knew that time, similar to you, I knew that I need to do something. I was not into yoga. We don't have any yoga back in my country. There is nothing like this. For the people who want to know more, so Marty from Ireland, I am from Syria, and especially Aleppo. Now, in that area, we have also very conditioned about certain limitation of spirituality, also either Catholic or Orthodox or Muslim or something. And it has very confined, doesn't connect with this, no one talk to each other, and so on. And we have all this habit of smoking, and life is difficult, suffering, and so on. And I used to smoke also, like everyone, and we don't have access to anything, to be honest. Nothing. Yoga is like when I find a book about yoga, which is someone will be traveling, give it to me, because in the library we have the minimum, I would say, brushed topic about yoga. So like small book that has nothing in it. So when I start doing the yoga, and I tap into the pranayama specifically, if people knows about yoga. Pranayama is controlling the breath, controlling the power, the life force. The moment I read the life force, I was like, life force, breath, I'm going to do it right now. And when I start doing it, and I was doing, that's why I'm telling you about synchronicity. I was doing some of the pranayama, like Kapalabhati and those, which has very fast, rapid building up the breathing.
Yes, powerful.
And one of the exercises I used to do was Tiger Yongi, they call it, or fire breathing, or detoxification, very powerful. You have mudra and so on, and something like this with special setting.
Yeah,
I started teaching this after a while, and just because the detoxification was happening through my system in my tongue, I couldn't actually smoke after that.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks maximum, my friend gave me, as usual, oh, you cannot smoke, take the cigarette. And I told him, I am so confident that I know my body is so clear, I can feel it, that I cannot smoke. I said, prove it. I said, I'm not going to prove to you. I just want to test it because I know. And I took a cigarette just to test myself, because I was so confident that I cannot smoke. There is nothing in my tongue. I took it. I start coughing for, I don't know, like half a minute. I cannot smoke it. My tongue, my lung is clean. Oh, it's a miracle. It's clean. And then same like you, I start into everything. I want to study all this.
Yeah, amazing. And a lot of people don't know, like when we say the word detox, people have visions of like this pill that they can buy or something that even a diet that they're going to do. But 70% of the toxins leave our body from breath. Literally just a normal breath, 70% of the toxins is leaving. So when we do the practices like you mentioned, pranayama, or more intensive practices through yoga and these types of things, we are detoxifying our body naturally in the way it was designed. So it's so powerful. It's free to everyone. You just maybe need some guidance on how and where, when to do it, and best ways of practicing. But everyone has this within them. It's a very good metaphor for this. The empowerment is within you, because it's the first thing you're going to do when you arrive here. It's the last thing you're going to do when you leave. But we forget about that little part in the middle called life.
breathing life force. And we share a little bit about when I channeled the wind. Maybe not now, guys. We have a lot of messages, a lot of things, but I think in the next one we'll go deeper in how the wind elementals share with us some idea of that we communicate. We have the life force, our astral energy body fuel through life force, and then Marty also we can share with us also his experiences and how he received many things, especially the video that you sent me last time when you were talking with Bashar. Beautiful, amazing. So we're going to share this with you because very empowering, and we are showing you how you can, wherever your level, see, no matter how it seems condensed, no matter how it seems negative, you can transcend, release those fears step by step with many tools, many guidance, many support. We are here to support you. And you find yourself, you are open up to the whole universe and manifestation, everything. So we have a few comments here, so I want to share with you. We have some people. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Becky. Thank you for sharing with us. If you have any also question or idea or statement, share. It's empowering you, us, people who's watching. Share, to tag someone to share. We're going to do more of those topics, this empowerment talks on many levels, very simple levels, yet very advanced levels on channeling, guidance, and so on, multidimensionality, how to release the heavy negative energy and contract, and how to release the fears and attachments of the matrix, if you understand the consciousness as a life force, and how we can tap into the channeling also. Because I received lately, if we share our story, how we start building up to connect our connection with the channeling, we might empower ourselves and empower people to receive also the guidance and become more comfortable with the idea that we can resonate and receive guidance.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
I'm going to continue with one more comment and then the mic to Marty. Feel free now. Felt weightless meditating on loving kindness. Evie sharing with that. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your empowerment. When people connect and meditate on the love and compassion through the heart, usually always we always mention this, and I'm sure also Marty will mention it in his topic. I think in one of, yes, it is here. I copy paste a little bit of his introduction of his online retreat of the active breathwork, and it's all about self-love, gratitude, compassion, and many other topics. We'll tap into it. Yes, thank you for sharing with us the heart, the access, our self-love that connect us, pure love without any judgment, connect us with amazing power, connect us with all the universal power. But you have to bring your self-love within you. So a lot of release has to be happen, a lot of trust in yourself, a lot of gratitude, a lot of openness, and then many tools, and then the breath, then the cleaning, and so on.
Absolutely.
Give it the mic to.
And I think, yeah, it's a good point. What was the name? Evie?
Evie, if I'm pronouncing properly.
Evie
Surgeon.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very apt that you mentioned weightless, because love at our core is what we really are. And how she felt weightless. The only thing that we can feel weight is the things that we are not. So this body is not what we are. The dense things. So what she is tapping into is her true essence. She's tapping into love. And the only thing that weighs us down is our negative beliefs, our stories, our history. Even though we've shared our stories here, it's good to share.
Yeah, but we'll give them to see that we didn't buy into that. That was a part of the wake-up call. And we don't want you guys to go through that wake-up calls. Absolutely. We can empower without suffering.
Yeah. Continue. So I feel like well, that's what she's doing. She's tapping into her true essence. And that feeling of weightlessness is you. Because the only thing that will weigh you down is what you are not. So keep doing that. Loving kindness to you.
Super. Well, thank you for sharing with us. And one like to you also. Tag someone if you want to learn more about the love or experience it or empower himself, that we can. It's here. It's free. We have all this energy, the self-love, the divine love, the unconditional love is always available. And one comment from Francisca. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Marty. She put it in a certain point. I think you were talking about something. So
thank you.
You got your gift. Thank you, Francisca. Much love to you. All right. It's 30 minutes, 36. I think we will stop here and we'll announce the next talk. Let's see what we will tap into. Most probably we'll tap into, I would say, a little bit of how we start incorporating a little bit of those tools, and how those tools we'll choose a couple of our tools that we start using. It could be the breath, it could be detoxification. We'll use a little bit of nutrition and the mindset, and a little bit of trusting yourself. And then from there we'll go to the next. We have a lot of topics to share with you guys.
Absolutely.
We are building the excitement for you guys to know how to connect with your guidance. We have a guiding system available. And we have a manifestation power available. The more you release, the more you align, the more you remember, we can do it together. We have the only way to do it together, to shift ourselves and our life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look forward to it. And I feel like we discussed before how we can give people really practical advice, really things they can apply in their life right now to start opening up to these things. And then when they're ready to go deeper, then they can open up to new things. But it's people want something that they can do now, and they want something quick. They want something fast. So
yes, we know, because the life is busy. Yes. Yeah. But we need to trust that we can but it's not about rushing it out. Don't worry. You will get your time. You will get everything. But of course, we need quick, as you mentioned. Of course, we need something quick, because we need to speed up our awakening in a way. It's beautiful for everyone. And I think we can tap into I would say, what our daily life and what our own practice, like, for example, the drinking water, how you can use it, alkalining, the breathing. On the morning, for example, I was sharing with you about my morning practice, and I know that you do also your own morning practice very early morning. So that's how we receive a lot of guidance, and we channel and manifest our life early morning. Mm-hmm. And I do a lot of breathing and a lot of water cleansing on the morning, and certain things. So we can share our tips, our own literally daily practice with you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we'll dive into more details.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Look forward to it.
Beautiful. Much love to you, Marty. It's always joyful and beautiful to talk together.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and so I will say thank you. Welcome indeed. We're going to tap into those details more and more in depth. We're going to even, one of the plans come to us. We'll open up more into the free webinars or other condensed proper webinars in the private platform, but we'll announce it ahead of time, where we find from you guys, if you are interested in a certain topic, to want to know more in details and more practical, and you ask your details question, like literally, like this is what happened to me in private in the webinar. We'll plan, maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we'll plan this, and you set a time, you come and join, free your time, take your water, take your notebook. We're going to work on manifestation, work on cleaning the system, and activating your guidance.
Absolutely.
And
this is
a couple of videos.
Yes. It's a real benefit of this platform, as you mentioned, is that people that maybe are not so open, or they don't want to be seen to be asking like sometimes strange questions. This platform allows you to ask your question anonymously, so you're able to receive your guidance without the worries or the fear. We don't need extra worries or fear. So this is a positive element of this
yes, the technology that we have there, the Crowdcast, the platform that we have here. So if you want to understand what we are talking about in the links, you will find the Crowdcast link for special private webinar. There you can register an anonymous name and you ask your question, and we can answer your question there, and we can dive into it, and you can record and come back to it. It's recorded there privately. No one can access it. So we are really here to help. And we know on the social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, it's not easy to put your private question, which sometimes I heard it many times. I have very weird question. We know we have all the weird question, all the weird things. But it's not easy to put it out, and someone are facing the fears of,
we know the challenge.
This is what happened, this was it. So the private platform is there. And in the private platform, we can keep it there recorded, and you can access to it again with the prolonged version. Here it's already now it's 40 minutes. I would say it's a good video on live.
Absolutely.
But we can do further there with a lot of meditation, both of us also. Yeah.
So probably before we finish, you can tell people what you're doing with Ascension platforms, what's coming up with you guys.
Yes, for people who knows us or who want to tap into, we do also a lot of workshops and courses. We have the Tibetan singing bowls as a healing tool, sound healing with my lovely Mathilde. We have a lot of, every Monday we do a lot of activation, vortex, spiritual works, and heart awakening. We received from our guidance something called heart resonance, super powerful meditation to awaken the heart and bring your energy. And we work on light body, a bit of spiritual technology for your manifestation, for your consciousness expansion and changing your life. You become a captain of your own vehicle, captain of your own space. And we have many other things. To be honest, I don't have them all because we have a lot of things, and we do channeling, we do one-to-one sessions. Marty also does one-to-one sessions. We do consultation, healing, sound healing. A lot of guides always join us in the Ascension platform. That's why we call it platforms, because we connect with like-minded, like-hearted guides, way showers, and people. And we are here for something called the awakening of humanity, awakening of the heart, the ascension, which is expanding our consciousness into a heightened, increased frequency, and bring everything into alignment in the beautiful, harmonious together. So in brief, that's what I'm saying.
Beautiful. That's good stuff. And my website is activatebreathwork.com. So for anything around breathwork, and the Activate lifestyle is what we call it. It's a whole life transformation tool. We've got lots of resources there, always based around breathwork, but we look at all areas of your life. So you can go to activatebreathwork.com. Yeah, activatebreathwork.com.
I can read quickly for you guys from his description, because I'm sure that you haven't memorized fully all your descriptions long. So they work on daily techniques, breath techniques, self-love, gratitude, giving, movement, knowledge, wisdom, challenges, silence, celebration, and ultimate unlimited updates. So this is what this is, I think, is one part of what Marty doing on the website called Activate Breathwork. And our website.com and our website, Ascension platforms also, we have all our services, many. We do a lot of live streaming, a lot of healing and spiritual work and nutrition works also. And right now, Marty and I, we're opening more into channeling and opening for guidance, receiving the higher guidance, star family, galactic family, earth energy, sun energy, universal energy. And also, I believe also your wife is also doing something in her own mother tongue language, right?
Yes, she is. She is. She's sharing with people in Portuguese. At least my lovely wife is Brazilian, so we live in Portugal here now. So she's sharing empowerment messages specifically for women and specifically for people in Portuguese, because a lot of times it's only in English. So she's sharing that. So that's an amazing thing for their ladies. And she is experiencing the ultimate manifestation, I suppose I would say, in human form now at the minute, as she is growing another human. So we're very happy
the baby, the angel baby is coming soon.
Yeah,
with a lot of crystalline. Yes.
So happy, so grateful for that. So yeah, really nice. Really nice.
Same also here. We are working also with empowering feminine. We have a lot of way sure. My lovely Mathilde Lumiere, my Lyrian princess, I called her. She's working a lot on feminine empowerment. We have a lot of workshop with her friend Yorate, Nada also, all of them way sure and teachers. And also she's tapping into recently, because we're working together. This is a synchronicity. That's why we're sharing with you into light language and light code. We've been receiving 3 to 4 light code recently. They are diamonds code that you can embed, and you will feel the ancient language of the soul language, the light language. And we are tapping into this. And also I'm going to post your website link in the comment and in the description, our website also. And also for AnandA, Marty started also the channeling of AnandA. We can post it. You can explain a little bit.
Yeah, MartinMcNicholl.com. So I have been having this connection with this non-physical consciousness, grip consciousness called AnandA. And I held it off for a long time. I had lots of fears, I can tell you. I had lots of fears. I had lots of cultural conditioning around this, although I loved it, but for it to come from me. And finally, we'll go into the story the next time, but finally in November time, I started to decide the decision was kind of made for me that I would start sharing it. So MartinMcNicholl.com, you can have lots of blogs on all the things that we're talking about, channeled material, long, in-depth material, very empowering, very
beautiful.
inspiring.
I've read them.
Yeah. So
the moment you read those channeling, you know it's a higher guidance, higher guide, higher consciousness that's coming with a pure love and a pure intention of giving knowledge, giving remembering, giving lighting up energy. Yes.
Absolutely. Very inspiring. And I read them back myself and I'm like, wow, this is so good.
That's what I do, man. I sometimes listen to my own channeling. I record and I put it there. Oh, that's a good session for me. I channel it and then I read it to myself.
Honestly, when I'm reading these things again, and it's been happening where I shared it since November and I read them, it's like reading for the first time every time. And that for me is truly multidimensional material. So
it is multidimensional, absolutely. I remember you shared with me the story of after you finished the first writing channeling and your mind was thinking, oh, maybe nothing, maybe I don't know what I've done. And you start reading and you realize, wow, oh God, what I've just wrote, it's multidimensional.
Absolutely, and that's the fears and the doubts still there's still the human element. It's still the proof. They get in there. But when I read it, I was like, wow, okay.
Beautiful, everyone. Much love to talk to you, Marty. Much love to connect with you all from our heart to your heart. Everyone, we are doing it together. Share, tag friend, empower your friend, empower yourself. We are all doing it together. We're bringing golden age of Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, love and light on earth. To the next time, we will plan for next Wednesday. I think we're going to plan for the next Wednesday.
Beautiful.
Next time, more tips and more concrete topics also. Marty, much love to you.
See you soon. Thank you. See you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.